there are certain movies that I think, regardless of the generation you belong to, I think you should check them out just on the grounds of you might enjoy them. Like certain old films, like the black and white ones, that I would always say, well, no, not me, but they're ones I often hear people say you should check out, or I hear that is really good or something. One of them is a movie called Casablanca, which I watched on Father's Day after my step granddad went home, and it's a good movie. My impression of it, it's actually pretty good. It's not. I don't think it deserves the Messiah level. Well, not Messiah, but I think some people probably look at this as some kind of Super Saiyan quality of a movie. It's not. I would rate this Gun for Hire a little bit above, but then again, I'm biased towards that movie. But it's still a good movie. There were definitely some moments that I skimmed over because of just how there are certain kinds of scenes I just don't give a shit about. Like one of them is drama, or there are certain types of drama I just don't give a shit about unless I really care about the character, or he does something in the scene that really makes me think, okay, I want to see him do this. But yeah, I think for the most part, I just like the character of Rick in this one. He's kind of an asshole. And I like it. Like he's this disillusioned, doesn't want to care about anyone else. Like he kind of reminds me of how I've heard people describe Joel from The Last of Us. He's been hurt once and he never wants to be hurt again. And he was changed by this one event. And what else? Also, kind of like Han Solo. Like I remember one of the things that got me around to finally watching a Humphrey Bogart movie was the Maltese Falcon. Was I remember Vader Reviews did this tweet once on Twitter saying like Humphrey Bogart was an inspiration on Han Solo. And after seeing the characterization Humphrey Bogart did in those movies, I'm like, yeah, I can definitely see it. Like, you don't know where he is morally. You don't know if you should like him. He kind of is an asshole. And he may or may not be someone you want to root for. And you get the same thing with Rick in this one. And by the end of it, he has kind of regained some of his, like, who he used to be. Because before this, you hear that he used to run guns for Libya and he fought the fascists in Spain. Like, this is referenced one or two times. No, I believe two times in the movie. And they don't overuse it. They do not overuse it as far as I'm aware. But yeah, it's a good film, I would say. Just my only issue is I wish they made movies like this now. Like not in black and white, but the atmosphere. Actually, in some movies you do get TV shows. I have seen it. Like they did this attempted noir type of show back in my first college years. It had John Bernthal in it. I like the atmosphere of that, how they tried to bring a lot of stuff from back then, like how you dressed was like stylish, how you acted. Like I like that. I don't remember much of the series because like I'm a guy who gets bored real easily. Like that's one of my problems with Deadwood is I struggle to give a shit sometimes. But yeah, it's good. It's pretty good. And I wish there was more light. Like in the first opening scene, I give a shit. I look at a lot of modern stuff now, and I struggle to give a shit. Granted, I'm usually looking at clips of stuff and not the actual movie because I'm kind of sworn off modern movies altogether. But it's kind of like take Venom for example. I actually like Venom, but I struggled at certain points to care. If it wasn't for the fact Tom Hardy was in it, I probably would not have cared. Because I'm kind of a Tom Hardy mark. I like the stuff he's in, especially Bronson. He was funny in that one. Like he is painting this guy's face, and the guy's crying. And after he puts the glasses, on, yeah, that's me right there. That's me. Then the guy just cries like, "Okay, that's it. He's had enough. He's had enough. Get him out of here." And then he fights the police butt naked. Like there's a penis shot in that film. It's weird. Or I think it was a penis shot. But yeah, it was kind of funny to watch. Like, as a straight man, there are certain things you never want to see. One of them is another man's flaccid dong. But I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, point is, you probably will give a shit in this movie. Like, all these old films was in a time when they actually had to do things that made you give a shit. They couldn't show you flashbacks as much, or no, they could. They did that in this one as well, but they didn't rely too much on it. They just gave you like little bits of information, or showed you some stuff, but not the whole thing, leaving some stuff up to your imagination. Like I go back to This Gun for Hire. You never see a flashback of Raven's childhood. You're just told by him stuff that happened to him as a kid, how he was abused after his dad was hung and his mother died. And that his aunt would beat him with a red flat hot iron. And you see him visibly upset just remembering it. And how glad he is that he killed her. Now I can't remember if you hear anything or see like vivid flashbacks or anything. No, you don't actually. I've watched that movie a couple of times, but they kind of did that back then, and they didn't hold your hand, is what I'm saying. They didn't talk to you like you were a child. They made good quality content. That was what they were focused on. Now, they wouldn't know good quality content if the definition walked up and fucked them in the ass. And that's my honest opinion on it. Just like this is all my first impression of Casablanca, which is just, it's a good movie. I do like how you have this kind of tension between him and the not femme fatale, the woman who he used to be in love with, who's now got this new love interest, the fox, who's like her husband, I think. And like Humphrey Bogart does things in this movie that I like in terms of acting. Like, he's not like the ones we have now where they just get visibly upset and yell at people. Or I don't think he did. It's hard to remember. It's been a while since I watched it. Not 24 hours, but yeah, I tend to forget things real fast. But he doesn't do that. He just says things that are hurtful. And yeah, he's just got a guy who's been burned, and you kind of get it. Like, that's something that Alan Ladd did really well. He had something about his face that made him look like someone who got burned real bad at one point in the past. Same thing with, I think it was something Mitchum. Like, he looked like a guy that in any role he was in, I would not want to piss him off. I would not want to piss him off. And this was before he was in that one horror film where he was a guy who would kill people to look for the money. But anyway, that's my impression of Casablanca. Let me know yours in the comments. Have a nice day, and pray for sanity.